Hey there. This is a heads up of sorts. I was submitted true scary stories via Reddit through a couple of communities that I had posted on. Now, these stories will be read exactly as they are told. That means cursing and violent or disturbing language will be used if the stories call for it. I do not normally curse on this channel, as I am not really someone who likes doing that, but this is a different occasion. If you don't want to hear cursing and or disturbing language, or you cannot handle scary stories of any kind, this might not be the video for you. We have a lot of variety of scary stories today, from paranormal to creepy people, and all the stories are of different lengths. We have a total of 5 stories, and some of the authors wish to remain anonymous, while the others I will link back to their Reddit page in the description below in the order their stories were told. One more thing before we get into the stories. There will be bloopers at the end of this video that will hopefully give you a couple of laughs. With that all out of the way, I think it's time
to tell some scary stories.
My name is Brooklyn, and this didn't happen on Halloween, but it was really scary. The other day, during the full moon on Friday the 13th, my friend and I went outside to take pictures. When I looked to my left, I saw a very dark figure, and the second I made eye contact with it and kinda let it know that I had seen it, it bolted down the street. I was like, that's weird. But I kinda just blew it off, thinking that it was just my eyes playing tricks on me. But when I turned to the right to take a picture of the moon, I saw another figure standing at the intersection a couple 100 feet away. This time, my friend, let's call her Nikki, saw it too, and this one ran off as well. The first figure that I had just seen seemed too short to be the same one that we both just saw. This one was very tall. So I said, let's get the fuck back inside. And as soon as we started to walk back inside, mind you, we were standing in the middle of the road to take pictures of the moon. It wasn't busy, I promise. No cars at all, just demons. Nikki took off running towards the intersection. I saw the figure for a millisecond before it ran down the street again. I went inside because after yelling at her a few times, she was still running, so a second later she gets into the house and explained to me that it was like something made her run towards the figure. She said she can hear me yelling, but she couldn't stop. It was like she had no control over her body. But the rest of the night, we kept getting spooked. For example, my living room is all windows, and every time either of us would look out the window, there would be a darker than pitch black figure standing in the window. We kept seeing things from the corner of our eyes, and we would hear bangs, and my dog would growl into the air as if she was going to attack something. She has always been extremely protective of me, as though she would not leave my side the whole night. Sometimes she would get in front of me and act like she was guarding me. My cat also kept running from things all night and getting jump scared when he would fall asleep. I honestly felt worse for my animals. I would rather something annoy me and come after me and not my animals. Anyways, that's the end of my story. It was really, really scary. This happened around a few months ago. I decided that it would be a great idea to walk to Target when it was about 7 o'clock at night. I started walking there and immediately regretted it, and I felt really uneasy. To make matters even worse, my phone was dying too. As I am about halfway there, I notice a white truck hop over a median and almost plow into a gas station across the street from me. I picked up the pace and made it to my destination. After about a good hour in the store, I decided I was done and walked out. And to my horror, I saw the white truck in the distance. As I was making my way home, the truck pulled up next to me. opened its passenger door and asked me if I wanted to get in. I screamed as loudly as I could, "Fuck you!" It closed the passenger door and sped off. I ran all the way back to my house. I learned my lesson that night and never walked in the dark again. Okay, so here's a quick background. My aunt has had many encounters with ghosts and shit, but she always somehow brushes it off. I would brush it off too, except for the fact that she's had crazy shit happen to her more than anyone else I know. Ever since she was little, she has always been really sensitive to ghosts, but she's never explored her ability. She acts like she couldn't talk to ghosts and shit if she wanted to, but she can. It must be hereditary, because her daughter, my cousin, can see shit too. My aunt used to live in Joshua Tree, California, in a small neighborhood in the middle of fucking nowhere, and her husband at the time would occasionally pick up graveyard shifts at his work. Now before I continue, I need to describe the layout of the house so you can understand the story better. It was a small, one-story house where the master bedroom was on one side. Then next to that was the living room, which was directly next to the front door of the house. So from her room, she could see through the TV room / living room and all the way to the other side of the house where the front door was. One time, she woke up in the middle of the night and just felt like something was off. After a few seconds, her grogginess went away and her eyes adjusted to the dark. She lifted up her head and looked at the door to see if maybe her husband came home. Instead, she saw a man in a plaid long sleeve and jeans sitting on her sofa, with one arm draped over the back of the couch and his head turned to the left, just staring at her. And from what she said, she could see him so clearly that she could see his blue eyes. Once this registered in her mind, she jumped up and screamed, ran past him, through the door, all the way to her neighbor's house, where she was hysterically crying and banging on the door. She told them what she saw, saying, "A man broke into my house, and he was sitting on the couch, just staring at me." They then went back to her house to check it out, but there were no signs of forced entry, and nothing was stolen or misplaced. But wait, it gets even fucking crazier. Fast forward to over 2 decades later, my whole family was over at my house. We got onto looking at old family photos. These photos were my grandmother's from when she was really little. As we were looking through pictures of the first house she lived in, my aunt completely paled and just froze, pointing to one of the pictures. We all got quiet, and she says, "That's the guy I saw on my couch in Joshua Tree." When we looked at the picture, it was just an older man, maybe in his early 40s, wearing a fucking long sleeve plaid shirt and blue jeans. And as it turns out, that's my fucking great grandpa who passed away before my aunt was born. When my aunt was in college, she lived with my grandparents for a short amount of time. One morning, she got into the shower to start getting ready for work. While she was in there, she could hear someone walking around the house. Of course, this didn't startle her because she was living alone. She figured it was my grandma and thought nothing of it. The footsteps went away for a few minutes, then came back again, quicker and heavier, creaking down the hallway towards the bathroom. Then all of a sudden, out of fucking nowhere, there was a violent banging on the bathroom door, and she screamed, "I'll be out in a minute!" But when she finally came out, no one was there. She checked all around the house, but no one was home. So she got dressed hella quick and dipped. Later, she asked my grandma if she was home while she was taking a shower and why she was banging on the door. But Grandma told her that she had left half an hour before she woke up that morning. About 2 years back, I have experienced something that gives me chills to this day whenever I think about it. I had to submit a short film for my exam. We were short on time, so we had to shoot during our EID holidays. It was the last day of our holidays and our last shoot day as well. We went to our location, which was actually my friend's house. We had to set up our scene on the rooftop. Since we were really rookie, there was no big crew or a lot of lights and stuff, just a few friends trying to get their work done. When we got there, it was after 12 at night. We were setting up our stuff. Our friend, whose place it was, wasn't with us. Keeping check on batteries, cards, and stuff before the shoot is an understood practice, which we did. But when we turned on our cameras, both of them ran out of batteries. However, no one said anything, and we put them on charge since we had some time to spare. After a while, when the batteries were just enough to work with, we set up our scene. The terrace we were on had merely 2 feet distance from the terrace on the house beside it. One wall of that place was completely covered with dense plants and leaves. When we started shooting our scene, we noticed after a while that 3 kids were standing on that terrace, watching us. Nothing was unusual for us, since people do notice you when you take out your cameras. Then we got busy in our work. Then I looked to my left to see if those kids are still there as a subconscious action. They weren't there, and I got busy in the work again. When we were done with our shoot, it was probably 2:30 a.m. Those kids were there again. Their formation was girl, about 8 or 9, was on the right, boy, about 5 or 6, was in the middle, and boy, about 3 or 4, was on the left. All 3 of them were bald. One of my friends got suspicious. He asked the kids, "Hey kids, where are your parents?" The middle one replied, "I don't know. Maybe they're having dinner?" My friend called me to come closer, showing me their house, and asked me, "Are they having a fucking candlelight dinner at this hour? Why the hell is it completely dark?" I got a bit nervous. Another friend of mine asked them, "Where did you come from?" A girl replied with a word that is so rare in our language that only 2 of my friends knew the meaning. What she said meant, "We are prisoners." We didn't know at that moment. What the hell did it mean? But all our friends did was tell us not to communicate with those kids anymore. So we went down and called our friend to say we're free now, and he should open the garage so we can take our cars out. When he came, we asked him, "Who are those kids?" He said, "What kids? No one lives in that house." I was really nervous, so I shouted, "Dude, that is not funny at all." He got kinda angry and said, "Come." That house had 2 gates. He showed us both and said, "Look at that." I cannot put it into words what kind of spine-chilling feel I had right at that moment when I saw those giant padlocks. And he told us that there used to be a mental asylum, an NGO type, in this very house many, many years ago. That was the last time I ever went back there. Hey guys, Mantix here. Thank you for watching this video. This was honestly extremely fun to make. It's a lot different from gaming, but I honestly still had a blast. For those who don't know, I wanted to narrate scary stories for October, since it's scary, spoopy, Halloweeny, all that kind of jazz. I thought this would be a fun little thing to do for you guys, and I was right. It was incredibly fun to do, and who knows, if you guys enjoyed it, this might become a permanent staple to the channel alongside gaming. If you guys don't know or didn't know, I created both an Instagram and a Twitter account for this channel. Links will be down in the description for it. And I would really appreciate it if you guys would follow me there. I'll try to post stuff about upcoming videos, updates, announcements, life stuff, all the good things. Also, before you go, there will be bloopers after this little thing that I thought were pretty funny, and hopefully you will too. Anyways, guys, if you enjoyed this video, please let me know down in the comments below. Share this video with friends, family, people you hate, whoever you like, and remember, live your lives and strive to shine brightly. I'll see you all next time. Peace off. Nikki took off running towards the intersection. I saw the figure for a millisecond before it ran down the street again. I went inside because, after yelling at her a few times, she was still running, so for fuck's sake, I forgot to silence my phone! My name is Brooklyn, and this didn't happen on Halloween, but it was really scary. The other day, during the full moon, why can I not speak today? My Lord in heaven, god dang it! This happened around a few months ago. I decided that it would be a great idea to walk to Target when it was about 7 o'clock at night. I gotta sneeze. There we go, yes! Alright, testing, 1, 2, 3. This is just a test. The actual recording will begin in... Maybe I should become an ASMR channel. Alright.